This is day 2 of the 2020 California turkey season. We ended up not getting on a turkey yesterday. So I headed up to one of the places I have to hunt. I've been hunting here for a long time. Haven't been here in a while. It's been probably almost a month since I've been here. But there was 3 big gobblers where I'm headed this morning, and had 11 hens. Hopefully they're still there. There's about 3 different places they can roost on this ranch, but the last few times they've been roosting this one spot, so that's where I'm going. And it was been raining pretty much all night, wet, but it was supposed to rain all day today. But now it's saying that it's just cloud cover and a 30% chance of rain at 11 o'clock. So hopefully it won't be raining at daylight. But man, everything is wet. The trees are wet. The dew is just everywhere. Everything is soaked. When I come through the gate was just soaked. So the turkeys are probably soaking wet, and they're probably not going to gobble a whole lot. But anyway, we'll see. It's still pretty dark. It's 5:40. And yesterday we had first gobble at 6:10. So they didn't fly down till like 6:40. So I'm about an hour before fly down. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see you at daylight.
on that guy all morning. Ooh, Joe Sladen here. I've been messing with this turkey all morning. He flew down just over the rise where I couldn't see him. Otherwise I could have shot him. When he hit the ground, he was close enough to shoot, but he was on the other side of a little rise. And gosh, there was a dozen to 20 turkeys in the tree, and they all flew. One flew where they normally do, and you'll see that hen was right out in front of me. And the rest of them flew down with him, and a couple of them flew west, a long ways away. So I waited a little bit and tried to make a move, and then he gobbled like he was going a certain way. I knew which way he was going. I knew how to get around in front of him. I made a move, got all the way around in front, made it perfect, was waiting for him to come, called a couple times, nothing. He gobbled a couple times, but he wasn't coming. He stopped. The next time I heard him gobble, he was like going the other way, like the same way he came. So I ran into some other turkeys as I was making my move. And they didn't spook, they just kind of walked off. I got some video of them. And I made my way around over here, and he was on this hill. And I killed a turkey on this hill last year. And they like this little area. It's a nice little strut area. And so anyway, as I come around, by the time I got to the bottom of this hill, he was already on the other side of the hill, down on the other side on the other piece of property. And so I'm like, if he keeps going that way, I know how to get around in front of him. And so I made my way around this hill and got around down over here, and the neighbor came out of his house, and that was the property he was on when I spotted him over here, and started making some noise. Well, he started coming this way, and I thought I was going to be right in front of him. Well, I got around over here. Next thing I hear is a hen right here on top of this mountain. So I just sat down where I was at, yelped, and he gobbled right here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to kill this sucker. I yelped a couple more times, and he was getting closer, getting closer. I could hear him spitting, drumming clear. And he was just inside, I mean, just out of sight. I mean, if I'd have stood up, I probably could have shot him. But I just thought, any minute he's going to peek his head over to where he can see me. And he stayed there for a long time. I mean, a long time. A hen came in from behind me and saw me move the camera a little bit. She started putting me, but she didn't know what I was. And she then started doing a little putt purr, and then she yelped a couple times, and then she yelped a couple more times, and then she was making her way down this way, which was going to pull him like out across in front of me. Finally, another bird, like some jake, started calking down over the mountain, and started yelping at him, and the hen that was putting me started yelping back, and he was eating it up. He was gobbling like crazy. And then I was calling to him, and he was gobbling like crazy. And then he stayed in one spot for a long time, and then all of a sudden he started moving his way back down the hill. So I waited till he got off this peak, and I climbed up to the peak where I could see, and he was just through on the other side of some little thick pines that are about 5 to 8 feet tall, some of them. And it was a thick area where he couldn't see me move. So I sat down, I called to him, and he gobbled. I thought he was going to come around the bottom, but no, he come high ground, come around. I'm on top. Neighbor started messing around with some stuff again, and the next time he gobbles, he was close. I was like, probably heard the safety go off. I usually try to make it nice and quiet, but I just knew in a minute I was going to see his head. I put the safety off, and it wasn't a few seconds I saw his head go by. And then I heard him spit and drum, and I saw his head again. And then I got my gun all the way up. I could barely find him through the scope. Finally, he kind of picked his head up, like to look to see. I think he might have caught some movement or something. But anyway, he stuck his head up a little bit, and I could see the head. And I shot, and all I could see was like this much of his head. So I hit the ground up in front of him, but it was like 31-yard shot, and so it was pretty much just a headshot. But I did get down a little down in the neck. I think a pellet went through his beard. A couple of beard strands was coming out, falling out. He's a beautiful turkey. He was the king of this mountain. He had a bunch of hens with him, and he did it right. He did it exactly the way he's supposed to do it. And if you like these things, yeah, that's some spurs, and they're pink. I love pink spurs. And they're 1.25 inches maybe, 1.125 inches, and sharp. So He's a good bird. He did it right. I've been on this turkey for a long time and finally got it done. My first turkey of the California 2020 spring season. Some of you might know that my son's wife had emergency appendectomy surgery the day before opening day when we were supposed to go on a hunt trip with a camp trailer and spend 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And anyway, so that got canceled and we had to stay here. And I went with my nephew. He called me after he heard about the cancellation. He didn't have anybody to go with him, and he had roosted some turkeys on some public land up over by one of the lakes. And so anyway, he said, "Come and go with me," and so I did. And we heard a couple turkeys gobbling way off, and we got in the game in a little bit, but the turkey was on private property, we were on public, and he was just keeping his distance. So anyway, this is a great way to, it's not a great way to start the year, like as in yesterday and Friday, but today was a good day. It was supposed to have been raining all day today, and it was been foggy and misty and dry all day, and the sun just popped out. Sun popped out 2 minutes, 3 minutes before I killed this turkey. So, thank you, Lord, for a great day and a great turkey.